Hi guys, welcome back to another Sunday reset. Today we're doing all sorts of odds and ends. Basically, it's all of the things that I have been putting off for quite some time. I am going to be tackling the under sink organization. I cannot wait to get to that. We're going to be heading outside for a little bit of cleaning because I am just about ready to decorate my porch for spring. But right now it looks like a conglomeration of sand and dirt and pollen, and I still have some items out there from Christmas. So that porch has just been a drop zone and it looks terrible. So I at least want to get it hosed off and sort of get all of the pollen and the dirt off. That way when I go to decorate, it will look really pretty and give me a good starting point. We're gonna do a little bit of laundry. In fact, I have some going right now, so I apologize if you can hear that running in the background. A little bit of kitchen cleanup. Definitely gotta clean the inside of the microwave because it's been a hot minute since it has been cleaned, so it definitely needs some attention. And just kind of whatever odds and ends come up as I go along. Sometimes I make messes as I clean, so I may end up having to tackle some of those as I go, but let's get started. There's a bunch of like kind of random things to do, so we'll get started and we'll see what we get done. Hopefully this will be a great motivator for you to tackle those things that you have been putting off, because I know for me, these are the things I don't like to do. The absolute first thing I needed to do on this reset day is this under sink problem that I've been avoiding for quite some time. If I don't start with this, I'm just going to put it off again. It is a mess. I have items piled on top of items. I don't even know what I have in here. As I go through this, you will see that I have doubles and triples of items because half of the time I will just go buy another one without bothering to look in here because I just am so overwhelmed by this cabinet. It's just a mess. And you can see remnants of my previous attempts to organize my little wooden Lazy Susan there to the right and that plastic bin I took out. But I am really bad about not noticing what I actually need to organize. And so I tend to underbuy when it comes to organizing. In today's video, you'll see that I actually ended up buying more than I needed because I was so fed up with this cabinet that I bought a few different types of organization towers to help me store all of the items away in a way that kind of makes sense. And I had such a mess underneath my sink when it comes to like water seepage, I guess. It was coming out of my pipes. So I wanted to get all of that cleared away because it was quite a mess underneath. And I did buy a rubber mat to put underneath here for future. That way, if I have any drips or any kind of moisture that is sitting for a long time, it won't cause me any problems with my cabinet because I know that water and wood is definitely not a good pairing. This was actually pretty gross. So once I got that cleared away, I started noticing every little speck of gross that there was. So this little ridge here in the door and the dust on the little hinges. And I just kept going and wanted all of the doors and everything to be really clean. That way when I do finally put everything away, it looks really nice. And I don't regret that I kind of missed a spot. And then, you know, of course, doing this and sitting so close to the cabinets and the oven, I ended up noticing that the oven underneath the handle was pretty dirty. So I just kind of did everything while I was down here. I just can't believe how dirty my bottom cabinets get because I actually recently cleaned all of these in a Sunday reset video. I want to say not even 2 weeks ago, I tackled that. And it's just amazing to me how much dirt and dust collects on these little ridges. These are the storage towers that I had mentioned. 2 of them are from Amazon and 1 is from the Home Edit line at Walmart. And I will link them if I can. I'm not sure which one I like better. Once I get them in the cabinet, I kind of find out that the ones from Amazon are very low profile and the bottom drawer doesn't really clear the rubber mat that I put in there. And the one from the Home Edit line does. But getting these put together was a little bit of a chore. I absolutely hate putting things together, even things that are simple. These were simple. I don't have patience for stuff like this. So having all of these little pieces and parts really kind of irritated me. I was so angry that it wasn't just a simple, put A in B and move on with your life. Like, there was so many little pieces. I was definitely not anticipating that. I was actually really grateful for the way they packaged everything though, because these plastic bins stick together a lot. And so having them with the paper on them was very helpful. Nothing stuck together. They did come with little stickers to sort of organize and label everything, but none of them were kitchen items. Everything was like toiletries and things like that. So these are going in the left side. In a moment, you'll see that I end up just removing one of them and only using the larger one from the home edit line on the right, and then just one from Amazon on the left. I actually end up pulling one of these Amazon ones into my laundry room, so that was kind of nice. Get a little bit extra out of my purchase. They just didn't fit very well with my water line coming out of the left side of the pipe. The way it was, it kept kind of getting in the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and start restocking everything. And this is something I am not good at. Even though I am a visual person, I am so bad at spatial awareness. So I tend to not really put things together in a way that makes sense, and then I have to, move things, and I tend to work from the front to the back instead of what would make more sense would be back to front. So, I'm trying to do that. I'm putting all of the things that I don't use very often in the complete back of the cabinet. I did have a little issue with my sink being an undermount sink. I was not really able to use the top shelf of that tower on the right, and so that was kind of a bummer, but I still feel like everything is much better organized than it was before, so I'm not complaining, but that's just something that I don't know. I didn't measure it, or I don't know if I should have measured it, but I just feel like sometimes when I try to organize things, it doesn't come out as good as I wanted it to, but definitely not complaining, because this is a huge improvement. As I'm getting everything cleared up off of the floor, and I'm going to also take the trash out, I am just curious to find out how things are going with you guys. Hopefully you guys are starting to see the beginnings of spring. I know we have been in warmer weather here in my area for a little bit, and we just recently did have a cold snap, but I know a lot of you guys are still having snow, so I am not going to complain about the temperatures that I have experienced over the last few days, but I am so ready for the warm weather. I am so ready for spring. I saw this little ice tray at Hobby Lobby, and it really got me excited for spring, which is silly, but look how cute these little flowers are. Ice flowers are something that I never considered having before, so I would like to say that they make your drink taste better. They don't, but they are definitely way more fun. And I really love this travel cup from the Hearth and Hand line from this spring season. It's so pretty, and it's really heavy. It's a really nice glass. So having this throughout the day as I go through my work, having a little pop of iced coffee here and there is definitely a welcome treat. So along with the little flower ice cube tray that I also have two of the silicone ice trays that just have like the rounded shapes, and they're small, which is nice because if I'm using a plastic water bottle, they also fit into the opening for the plastic water bottle, so that makes it easy to travel with. So I'm just gonna get these filled up and set in the freezer and move on to the next task. And you guys can see how disorganized my freezer is. I am really a work in progress here. That will be on one of my Sunday resets, but definitely not today. Gonna go ahead and tackle the next bout of laundry and get some whites going. I'm trying really hard to make sure that the laundry stays in progress throughout the day, but every once in a while I notice that it hasn't been making any noise for a while, and I'm like, dang it. that could have been going all this time, and I just kind of missed it. Now, this is something I want to ask you guys. The OxiClean directions say that you're supposed to fill up your washer first and then add your OxiClean before you put your clothing in, but my washer will fill up with water, but the lid locks. And once it locks, I can't get in there to open it up to put the clothing in afterwards or the OxiClean or anything. So leave me a comment below and let me know, does it matter, or do you just put your OxiClean right in as the clothes are going in? Okay, we're moving on outside. I want to get a little bit of cleanup done outside since the weather has been pretty nice. It's time to do a little bit of thinking about spring cleaning. So the windows are definitely on the list for that. I am going to tackle the outside of the windows, and then I'll come inside and tackle the inside afterwards. So on the other side of the house, this is where my sofa is, and this window is the only remaining window that was original to the house. We have replaced all of the others, but this thing is so old. It's like aluminum, and it's just a mess. And then I was trying to figure out how to get the screen out because I wanted to clean the outside of the glass, but I couldn't figure it out. I figured once I came inside and I pulled out the blinds, I would be able to figure it out, but you'll see as I'm cleaning it later after this one, I still couldn't figure it out. I could not get that screen out. So the bottom window pane on the outside is just not going to get cleaned today. Now I love having this double hung window so that I can open it up and clean it from the inside. I actually wish all of my windows were like this. It would be so much easier. But this is the only one that I have that is like this. And so I will take what I can get. But after I get this kitchen window clean, I'll move over to that sofa window and finish up, because I will tell you something. Getting these windows cleaned really did make a difference with just how light and bright and fresh everything feels. You would not really think that just simply cleaning the inside and outside of your windows makes a huge difference, but it's not something you notice until after you've done the cleaning. So I'm going to tackle the dust on these blinds because there is quite a bit. And once I have that done, I will tackle the window. Some of you guys heard me say in a previous video that I was considering window treatments here because I feel like this window is quite bare, but I was concerned about putting curtains here just because my sofa is in front of it, and I don't know, I just kind of felt weird about having curtains hanging behind the sofa. A lot of you guys had given me some really good ideas. Some of you said, yes, it's fine, do the curtains, and some of you guys even gave me some non-curtain alternative ideas. So if you've got any thoughts about what would look good here, I feel like I definitely need to do something. It is quite bare. I'm not sure which direction to go. So any ideas that you guys might have is very welcome. Next up on the list of things that have been getting pushed to the bottom of my list is this microwave. It is an absolute mess. We don't typically cover our food when we microwave it, mainly because I don't like to microwave plastics, and so we just put our bowl or plate in uncovered. But it is definitely something that makes a big mess, and so I like to pre-treat it with some vinegar spray. I know the bottle says Autoban, but it's just refilled with vinegar. And then I microwave it to create a little bit of steam, and while that is going, I'll just get the glass rotating tray washed up and ready to get put back in. That way, once I wipe it all down, everything will be clean and ready to go. And after just a minute or two and a little bit of scrubbing, everything looks perfect and brand new. Time to put everything back in and move on to the next task. It's finally time to get outside. I have been waiting to do this task all day. I just wanted to get outside into the beautiful weather. My porch is a disaster. I have items still from Christmas. My home for the holidays entry mat is still here, along with a ton of dirt, dust, and debris, tons of pollen. This is the time of year in Florida where everything gets covered with this yellowy green powder. And so I'm just gonna remove everything from the porch and hose it down. I'm not doing a super deep spring clean of the porch. That will be in a future video where I actually use soap to clean the front of my house and my tile. This is just really to get the dirt and dust and pollen off so that when I'm ready to decorate for spring, everything doesn't feel gross. One thing I will say though, as I'm looking back at this video, is that I did not notice while I was out there the amount of dirt that is up on that top board that is, just under the roof. I definitely need to get a pressure washer out here stat, because that is not something that I even had noticed when I was out there, but boy, is that an eyesore now that I'm looking at it. After I get everything hosed down and I let it dry for a little bit, I'm just going to end up replacing everything kind of the way it was. Today I'm not really doing any decorating, but these are the pieces that I'll kind of use as my base piece for when I do bring in the spring decor. I've got a really cute setup, or at least I think it's going to be really cute. I'm going to go with a really soft pink and wicker setup for the front porch for spring, and I can't wait to get the decor out here. I'm really hopeful to have that in a future video coming soon, because the weather has been so nice that I really want to get it decorated and be able to just sit out there and enjoy it in the mornings when I have my coffee. It's always amazing to me how much having a clean space makes everything just feel so much better. Although I'm not bringing out any spring decor and nothing out here is really pretty or screams spring, just having a clean space really is enjoyable. And that's something I tend to forget, is that, you don't always have to have new things. You don't always have to have the most expensive things. Sometimes just taking what you have and making sure it's clean and tidy and well kept makes a huge difference. On to folding another load of laundry. I feel like the laundry never ends around here, and it's just me and my husband. We don't have kids in the house anymore. We are empty nesters, but still the laundry persists. Leave me a hands up emoji in the comment section if that is something that you can relate to, because I don't know, I just feel like I'm always doing laundry and it never ends, and no matter how much I do, there's always more to do. Now, I will tell you that I am a person that does not let the laundry sit. I cannot stand having clean clothes downstairs, just because I always will need something. I'll be looking for something upstairs when I'm getting ready or getting dressed, and it's like, ugh, it's clean downstairs. I got to come down and get it. And so I am actually pretty good about, once I get everything folded, everything goes in the laundry basket and it heads right upstairs into my room. Now, whether or not it makes it into its final home, that's a different story, but at least I take it out of the living room and I get it put away up there. Next up, I am going to finalize the kitchen. There's not a lot left to do. I just want to hit my stovetop with a little bit of vinegar and let it sit for a minute or two while I straighten up all of the items that are on the countertops. And then I'll head back to the stovetop and just kind of wipe it off. And then from there, we will finish organizing the rest of the countertops. And I will tell you that this, although it's not a very deep clean today in the kitchen, it really feels like it because every time I open that cabinet for my under sink storage, I feel like I did a deep clean. And I feel like I am a new person here in the kitchen. Everything is organized. I know where everything is. And it feels really good. So don't procrastinate on those items that are kind of haunting you. Just go ahead and get them done because you will really feel so much better once you are on the other side of it and it's done and clean. A lot of you guys know that my channel is mainly dedicated to decorating, and I do have a video coming this Tuesday. We're going to be taking a look at my living room and my dining room for spring. I've got a new furniture piece and I've got a new area rug, and I can't wait to share that with you. So if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and do that and make sure you hit the notification bell because I've got some really good stuff coming up for the spring season. The following week after the living room, we'll be working in the kitchen, and then I am so hopeful to have the porch done by then to be able to share that with you as well. Once I get the kitchen countertops all tidy, I don't like having things in the sink, and so I'm just going to do a really quick hand wash, throw a few of these pieces in the dishwasher that can go in the dishwasher. That way I can get my sink cleaned up because there's just something about having a clean sink that it can't be beat, right? If you straighten up your whole kitchen, but the sink is still full of dishes, it doesn't feel like a clean kitchen, even though every single other thing has been cleaned. And so getting these last few pieces clean, dry, and put away or put in the dishwasher so that I can get some baking soda and soap in this sink and scrub it really well is going to help me to feel like the kitchen is really complete. And I'm going to go ahead and clean off this really adorable mug. This is actually a custom mug that I ordered from a channel called Cass and Home. Last year, she was putting out a few of these as a channel merch kind of thing. She wanted to make it kind of special and not just your average t-shirt. And I thought it was a really sweet mug. So I ordered it and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to get that put away. And then I cook with cast iron. I know that's kind of old fashioned. And I really do love all of the really pretty sort of white ceramic cookware. But cast iron is just something that I have always used. I love using it. I feel like the food cooks better. It cooks more evenly. And as long as you keep it clean and dry, you don't really have any issues with it. It will last forever. I know I've mentioned this before, but Blue Dawn dish soap and some baking soda cannot be beat when it comes to cleaning stainless steel. I absolutely love using this in my sink. I sometimes will use it on my stovetop as well. A lot of you guys have heard me say that before, but this is the number one favorite task of mine in the kitchen cleaning process. There's just something about scrubbing a sink and then hosing down all of that baking soda and soap and watching the shine come through that is just so satisfying. Almost done with the laundry, guys. It's getting late in the afternoon and I've done about 3 loads already. So I'm just gonna get these whites folded and put away, and that will be it on laundry for the day. Some of you guys know that I am planning a laundry room makeover in the future. It probably will not happen until sometime during the summer. I am thinking I want to go with blues, gold hardware, blue cabinetry. I kind of want to configure the cabinets over to the right there. This room has just become a drop zone. It's a mess. And so I'm kind of looking forward to that makeover, but I have a lot of things that I have to do first before I can get to that part. So just gonna have to deal with a kind of messy, ugly laundry room for the time being. Well, guys, that's going to do it for today's reset video. Hopefully I was able to help you tackle a few of the chores on your list that maybe you didn't want to tackle, because I know I feel great knowing that my under sink is done and I can just not think about that for a while, at least for a few months until it gets messy again. Leave me a comment below. Let me know, what have you been up to? Are you tackling any big projects this weekend? And I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.